Understanding phasing is key to understanding the push-pull audio output circuit. In an audio amplifier, if we are using tubes or transistors to amplify a signal, in this configuration, the input and the output are 180 degrees out of phase. And what this means is, if you take a look at the small input signal here on the grid of the tube, as it goes negative, we can see that the output at the plate is going positive. And back at the input signal, when it is going positive, and back at the plate, the output is going negative. It's 180 degrees out of phase. Here is a push-pull output audio amplifier. The final stages in this amplifier are 6V6s. And for this amplifier to work, those two output tubes to work together, they must be 180 degrees out of phase from each other. In other words, when the plate of the top tube is going positive, the plate of the bottom tube must be going in the negative direction. Let's take a closer look at that transformer to see how the two out-of-phase outputs produce a much stronger magnetic field that induces more energy into the secondary to drive a speaker. As the top tube becomes more positive, the bottom tube is likewise going more negative, and here we have reached maximum in both directions. And I've drawn batteries in there to symbolize how each tube is working together with the output transformer. Now, as we go past, the energy becomes less, and now we have just passed 0, and now we're moving in the other direction. And as you can see, I have drawn the batteries in the opposite direction, because now both the top and bottom tube are now working together, but in the opposite direction. Now, both plates, of course, are always positive, but one moves much more positive while the other one moves much less positive, always 180 degrees out of phase. Now, to produce that means that the input of each of those tubes on both of the grids, they also must be 180 degrees out of phase. Let's see how those two inputs are developed. It starts right here at the first audio tube. That signal goes through C17 to the top 6V6. But a little bit of that signal goes through R20 over to an inverter tube, which amplifies it, but also it is now 180 degrees out of phase. And it's that signal that is used to drive the bottom 6V6. So now we have an input signal at both output tubes that are 180 degrees out of phase. The same thing holds true for transistor push-pull. And here's a push-pull amplifier. We can see that the primary of T4 is driven by a single transistor, but the secondary is tapped, and that produces two identical signals that are 180 degrees out of phase, that drive two transistors at the base, and their output is 180 degrees out of phase, which drives the output transformer T5 that then drives the speaker.